more top 10 countdown. Another very storied program in more ways than one. 7 state titles and 10 top 2s. The Flyers of East St. Louis. If you look at their results from last year, sort of confusing because it says they went 4-6, including a game they scored 62 points and lost. But then you remember the IHSA
came down with the hammer, came down with the death penalty.
More or less, it was the death penalty for their season, for sure. And 4-6 ended up being their record. And the thing about East St. Louis is the biggest question mark to me for them. I think they are so much more talented than everyone down in that area around East St. Louis that they're going to go 7-0 in Illinois. Yeah, they've got a couple openers against North Gwinnett in Georgia and Gardner Edgerton in Kansas at Georgia. They actually get Gardner Edgerton in East St. Louis. The question is there going to be more to this story that started last year, and it's going to screw up yet another potential run at a state title?
I mean, I hope not. But you can really look at it two different ways. One, you can say, okay, East St. Louis, a program that has been through a lot, has learned their lesson, and they're going to go in the straight and narrow path. Or they can say, we just gone through a lot of stuff, and, they're probably not going to be keeping an eye on us as much, which I don't think is actually going to happen. Right. I think that would be the dumbest thing to do. The thing that kills me about East St. Louis is they're such a storied program and they have so much talent. Yeah. It's like, why do they need to go through this stuff?
Right.
So that's the main thing I think about, what's going on this year, what's going on last year. And then another thing to look at, these high school students aren't getting those years back. Right. So if anything, I'm like, hey, coach, pulling on the leg, let's just do it straight up and just kill everybody this year by 50 instead of 62.
Yeah. Two things about what you said. One, especially when referring to college recruiting, some might say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
And it also goes back to something that you and I were talking about earlier today is SMU in the early 80s. Yep. To me, this is one of the, if East St. Louis was screwing around and getting players from other districts, but they were going 5-4 every year, I'm not sure that you'd be, hearing about that.
No, you wouldn't.
But it's like SMU. You get Eric Dickerson and Craig James and a bunch of these other studs, and you're number 2 in the country. There's going to be some other coaches running around going, yeah, let's, why don't you guys take a look into what they're doing over there?
Oh, without a doubt.
I think we were deprived. With all due respect to Wheaton South, you tell me East St. Louis isn't around anymore?
Oh, yeah.
That was the matchup to me in 7A.
Well, not only that, you hear a lot of people last year saying, take East St. Louis out, they did wrong, what have you. Okay, that's fine. Understand that. Now people are looking back and be like, East St. Louis had a fantastic team. Wheaton South, that would have been a matchup. Right. That's what we missed out on. And so
I think East St. Louis was most talented team in the state last year.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like they're not talented this year. It all starts at signal caller. Yep. Lamontez Ivy, not a prototype quarterback, doesn't have the height. But just like we previewed Bolingbrook with Mr. Bailey, this guy can run. Yep. This guy is always going to have athletic weapons to get the ball to, and that makes this offense lethal.
Yeah, some other guys drawing attention. Jeremy Nicholson, running back, 5'8". Yeah. Put him on the list.
Eric Seals.
For people that don't know, I'm making an all-state running back list for running backs under 5'8".
Eric Seals All-Stars.
Eric Seals All-Stars because they're special running backs, and I think they need to be noted up high.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. As I look at Lamontez Ivy, 6'3". So he's got the
what'd you say?
I was thinking he was a shorter guy also for quarterback size.
Some of that Hinsdale Central education. Followed up by Dennis Harris, 6'2", 190-pound wide receiver. Also have who else do they got? Marvin Holly, linebacker from last year, went all conference selection. So they got some people coming back. I know they lose a lot of people. Some people who couldn't come back to the program. Some people who graduated. But like other schools we've talked about, they reload.
Right. Well, and I think the big thing is because – and now if you look at projected enrollments, they're at 1564. Every other Illinois school on their schedule has at least like 400 more kids projected than them. So it's not like they're playing a bunch of teams in 4A.
I think they've established themselves so well over the last 30 years. Obviously, one of the top teams in the state. That I don't think that enrollment number really matters anymore.
What I think is big, because now it seems that North Gwinnett is a pretty solid team from Georgia.
12-1 last year.
So that could very well be a loss. You don't hear much about Kansas high school football, and so I wouldn't probably be as, and plus they got to come to East St. Louis. That's probably going to be a win. But then when you get to that Illinois part of the schedule, because there's so much more I mean, look at what was their closest conference game last year?
20.
Looks like 34-13, Granite City, in the last game of the year before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so to me, even if they're searching for some answers, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to have time to find those answers and be ready to roll when round one hits.
I mean, I think you're right. You play those two out-of-state teams. And what's your feeling on playing out-of-state teams? Because there's been some chatter about some of our elite teams in Illinois not playing out-of-state competition. If you want to become more, known more of a national power, you want to make Illinois better as a state of football, you got to play some outside, the line of teams.
I'll give you my opinion on that when we come back from a short break here. Welcome back in here, IllinoisPrep.com. Eric Seals, all built up into a lather about these interstate games here, especially because September 4th will be in the Lou.
We're going to be down there for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, not first time in the Lou.
But first time for covering football.
First time for covering football. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll be down there.
Simeon, Rita, East St. Louis.
It's going to be great. One, to just get out of the area, see some football in the downstate area by St. Louis. And
the Kansas people can shut me up after I said they don't play.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll remember you.
Yeah, they should. I'm sure they watch.
But for a team like East St. Louis, it really, it's bad to say, it kind of starts in the playoffs. How good are they going to do in the playoffs? It's a team that's not near any other team as far as Wheat South. So they always get, probably a part of the bracket that's going to be a little bit easier.
Sure.
It always comes down to those last couple games. So it'll be interesting to, to see what happens with them.
But I told you, I think East St. Louis is probably the number one program that should be playing out of state, but I'm really not in favor of it because there's no Illinois school that's like consistently year in, year out one of the top 25 programs in the country. And I'll give you that. I think it's only necessary to go out of state and beat your chest if you want to make a run at a mythical national title in high school football. Otherwise, stay in state, prove your dominance.
So you're saying pretty much the teams that we can look at are Wheaton South and Maine South that have been nationally ranked within the last couple of years. I think Glenbard West was as well.
But the reason I say East St. Louis is because, as we talked about, they draw the most top talent from a very nice populated area. And whereas in the Chicago suburbs, it's really
spread
dispersed.
Out. But I guess my thing is, those the teams I just mentioned, those could be some teams, as well as East St. Louis, that we could talk about playing out of state. You're saying that you think it'd be better if they played in state and just continue their dominance?
I think so. I'd rather see.
What about your top Ohio, California, Florida, Texas schools? They go all over the country.
But those are top in competition for top 5.
So you're saying until they get to a continuous top 25, they need to stay in state.
Until someone from Texas is like, who better watch out for East St. Louis this year? Or anyone from Illinois?
They're wasting their time.
Yeah. I'd rather see East St. Louis go play Joliet Catholic or some other top program in Illinois.
I give you that.
And because not only that, then East St. Louis can say, we need to work on some of these things because we got exposed by some of these Chicago area teams.
Yeah.
Or look how good we are.
You think East St. Louis looks down on a JCA?
Looks down. I think it's more like the other way around.
Ooh. I don't know.
I think the Catholic schools are like, You know,
What East St. Louis is known for being able to go into any backyard and be able to play.
but Joliet Catholic isn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
let me check the
No.
13 state title. Oh yeah.
no,
sorry.
I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, do you think? I can't. I'm speaking for the people down in East St. Louis.
Uh-huh.
Do you think they'd be like, oh, a little, 5A school, Catholic school, we could beat them?
Okay, go play Maine South. That was just an example.
I'm not saying you're right. I'm just asking.
I think
They have a high demeanor. They have a high. We can play
it's
anybody.
more like they feel like they don't need to prove anything to anybody until the playoffs.
Same thing, kind of.
But again, neither do these Catholic schools, but they still do.
Yep.
But okay, it's prediction time. East St. Louis. First of all, with this 1564 enrollment,
What class are they going to be in?
got to be in. They might be in
5A. They might be with JCA
Yeah,
and
right.
Montini. And that would be.
If they're in 6A, I think the state champs.
You got them in the state game, yeah, without a doubt.
If they're in 5A and they're going to be rolling around with Montini and
You
JCA,
don't think so?
Well, no. I'm just saying. I think 5A could become like 7A last
be
year,
7A, it really
where
could.
you have. I mean, then to me, it's one of those. Whichever of those three schools has to put. You know what?
One of them has to play each other
you know
before.
what'll
Yeah.
happen because they like to do this
Montini
little,
and JCA have to play each
this
other
little-
before East
this
St.
little
Louis.
regional shenanigans.
That's why East St. Louis always has a benefit being down south. They're like, no, you guys handle it up there.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to travel over,
Right?
over 100 miles,
Yeah.
even though we go play games in Georgia.
Yeah. I think they have Alaska next year, too.
Yeah. But
So-
yeah, I mean, again, this is what we were talking about. East St. Louis is one of these swing teams. They completely change the outlook
Yep.
for one of these classes in the in the middle upper.
And we don't find out
range.
to the end of the year.
Right. I mean, we'll have an idea. We'll have an idea.
We'll have
probably
an
by
idea.
about week 7 once we see. Okay, we have all these different teams qualified for the playoffs.
Yeah.
This
Because it also does matter who qualifies as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's the 32 teams that have at least 5 wins that have the top enrollments are in 8A.
Yeah.
And it trickles down. So yeah, it's such an X factor.
But you know
for this
what?
entire
But they're
season.
also they're known for putting themselves up. Because last year I think they should have been 6A and they vowed to be in 7A as well as other years.
This is the year to say we're 5A. Yeah, I think we'll bump
I
up.
think we'll be
bump up to
But that's what they're known for doing. They bump themselves up.
Sure.
And so they might say, forget, we're still going to play 7A. And if they did, I think this would be a better year than last year to come up to 7A.
But they might still end up as a Tommy Shutt sandwich.
You think so?
I mean, again, I'm just guessing we might be seeing Tommy
You
Shutt
know I
and
like
company.
speed.
Yeah, they got it in spades. I've heard they have a track program a little bit.
Really?
So
Really?
I think they might be able to run past a few folks.
Yeah, well, Tommy Shutt, actually has some speed on him as well.
Yeah. Lamontez
for a
Ivy.
big guy.
Look out for Tommy Shutt.
Yeah. He's the wall.
Yeah,
lined up beside
that's why
you.
Lamontez Ivy's going, Coach, I think we should take our chance in 6A. I don't know if I want that.
No, you right back to Skyler.
Right.
Tell him that you're the top program in the state and you're going to go to 7A.
Lamontez, I'm 6'2", 301. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to be part of a 6'2", 300-pound dude chasing me around in that 3-5 defense. Chad Hetland's gonna be rolling out.
Yeah, they're going to be banging.
Anyway, East St. Louis, title contender in pretty much any class they end up in.
Yep.
Look out for the Flyers. We'll be looking out for them week 2 against Gardner Edgerton. And next time, look out. We're getting there. We're getting towards the top.
Yep.
Here on IllinoisPrep.com, team number 6. Coming up next time with Eric iPrep. I'm Matt Schuyler iPrep. And you are watching IllinoisPrep.com.